I had to kind of pull it down. And then to pull it down, I can't get it back in. So, anyway, you know, once it's on 12
I'm happy about somewhere around the basket.
Besides doing the prayer, frequent prayer.
No, he's doing the prayer and Jason. But you, that's the one, yeah.
Like they all say, yeah. What's 5 minutes?
It's amazing how a bell can get everybody quiet. Hi, that's you. Wow, good to see you. Welcome to the September 20th, 2024 Rotary Club. My name is Stephen Hammers, and I am your president, Stephen. That is the weirdest thing. Clapping for me, I appreciate that. I don't deserve it. Thank you very much. We don't have to. You all look really good today. Is it me or my glasses or what's the deal? Y'all look great. It's what? Oh, it's you. It's you. Yes, it's all of you. It's not me. Well, we have a good meeting today. We are going to start off by having invocation by Michelle LaFollette, Legend Four-Way Chess by Jason Holtz, and then we'll go to Jennifer after that. So Michelle, you're right. You're right there.
Creator, accept our thanks for this day and all its blessings. We ask that you guide and direct our club, its leaders, and our actions. Grant that each of us may feel our responsibility to Rotary, to our community, and to our country, and indeed to all of our countries and all of our peoples. Bless our fellowship today and bless this food to the nourishment of our bodies. In your service, amen.
Please join me in saying the pledge to our flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag. And to the republic for which it stands. Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the four-way test of things to say and do. Number one, it's a new record. Number two, declare the laws and friendships. Four.
Thank you, Larry. Jennifer, our secretary, is going to introduce our guests and visiting Rotarians. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So our first guest today, Josh Jarvis. Where's Josh? Jarvis? No, Josh Jarvis?
He didn't stay very long.
Oh, okay. We made an impression on him. We want to welcome Buddy back to Carroll. Where's Buddy? There he is. Everybody welcome Buddy back. My very special guest, Mr. Rob Iker. He is going through our system quickly, so hopefully he will be an official member and start paying for his own lunches here. We have Tucker Day. I'll let Kip, most people know Tucker, but I'm gonna let Kip.
The best kicker in the world.
Best kicker ever in the SEC. I believe he was an all conference soccer player and hockey player and football player and son of Stuart Day, who's a former member, whose parents own Parent Magazine. So he's applied to be a member. No, youngest in the group, I think.
Another Mississippi Stater.
I'm sorry. That's okay. And we have a very special guest today that actually found us on the Rotary Locator. Does anybody know? I learned something today. I love it when I learn things about Rotary. Does anybody know what the Rotary Locator is? Bob, no, I'm confused with me. Devin, okay. So there is an app, a specific Rotary app called the Rotary Locator. That Joaquin, is that how you say it? Joaquin. Okay.
Just call him Joe.
Joe. Taught me about, and it's an app you can download, and you can, when you open it up, you put in where you are, how many miles around you want to search for a club, and the address for a club goes wherever you are.
It's called Rotary Locator.
Rotary Locator, yep. So you type it in your app search and it pops right up. Pretty cool.
While you're introducing Joe, I want to have him come up here.
Okay, so you're gonna, okay.
Yes.
Thank you for coming today. He's going to tell us about why he's here.
Joe is from Uganda. And we are going to exchange flags. And then he's going to give us a little 2-minute on his club and why he's here. So, thank you, Joe, appreciate that. The club of, say that again? Kasangati. That is very, very nice. Very, very nice. Good.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good afternoon, my fellow Rotarians and guests. very pleased and happy to be here this afternoon. I bring you greetings from my club, and I am here on a 3 weeks tour for the nonprofit that I lead in Uganda. It's called Benjamin House Ministries. We work to remove children that are living on the streets. And then we bring them into our foster homes where we help to rehabilitate them, because many of them actually are addicted to drugs, especially the jet fuel, which has really destroyed their lives. And so we rehabilitate them for 8 months, 12 months, and then we give them trades, we train them, and then we give them tools so that when they are leaving the homes, they go to start their own independent lives, working as independent young men. So I am here visiting different friends, churches that are supporting the work that we are doing, just to see that we can grow the network of people that will support the work. And so I am happy to be here because actually this ministry is a corporate member with my Rotary Club. So as a Rotarian, I am very happy to partner with club, with Rotary, and we are very interested in international partnerships. And so I am very happy to enjoy fellowship with you this afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Amazing what your club is doing. Good. Jennifer, anybody else?
No, that's it. After the.
Is that it? Okay, awesome, awesome. Happy Bucks, Kip Dodson.
All right, who's
Let's see
happy?
who's happy.
That's happy.
As part of my recovery, I had some teeth. Checked out fine there, went to the vasculature, they said, you're good. The only thing you need to help make yourself better, walk. That's good.
I'm having $2. I'm happy. Tucker's gonna be a member and go right with Rapid. Over.
Well, I don't know if it's possible to say that you can have a good day in court, but I think I had one today, so, cross, I'm happy about, what I think will be a safe decision in my favor. Again, good to have a good lawyer, I know there's a lot of good lawyers.
Who else is happy? Anybody? Anybody?
I know we got a lot of help. People.
Oh, yeah. Alan, gotta tell us something about her.
Yeah, I'm Tiny.
Hey, how's
That's
Auburn?
number 5.
How's Auburn doing? They doing good?
I don't know about Auburn, but, hey, Tuck, congratulations. And I can never say enough good things about Tucker, but, they could have really used you. Saturday, what's the score of that game?
We're not talking about.
I think it's like 56-0. Like, but anyway, I am being sincere. Love you to death. Congratulations.
All right. Anyone else happy? Okay, back to you, President.
That's it? All right. I know y'all are happy, you just didn't have any money, right? Is that the reason? Bob, smile, you'll be happy. All right, we have very few announcements. Don't forget, women, the 24th is the Williamson County event. I think y'all know about that, so hopefully y'all can go. And I think that's it for announcements. Any other announcements that anybody might have? There, you got your announcements later on how everything went.
Go for it.
That's next week.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, 2 weeks from now. All right, awesome. All right, that's it for the announcements. We're running through pretty quick. We're gonna jump into our speaker then. So Jordan is gonna introduce our speaker for the day.
All right, happy Friday. Well, one fun thing I learned about our speaker is he is a past Rotarian and might be for our club in the future and happens to live in Brentwood. So make sure you introduce yourself, make him feel welcome. Shameless plug. All right. Matthew has been or began his nonprofit career as Director of Communication with the Mental Health Association of America. In '98, he joined the National Area Chapter of the American Red Cross as Director of Communication. He also served as the Director of Volunteers and Director of Health and Safety Services for the Nashville Area Chapter of the American Red Cross. Matthew joined Second Harvest Food Bank in 2005 as their first Chief Operating Officer. Matthew helped to guide the day-to-day operations of the food bank, overseeing mission services, IT, marketing, warehouse transportation, and Project Preserve, the food bank social enterprise. On July 1st of 2013, Matthew became the president and CEO of Goodwill Industries of Middle Tennessee. Goodwill provides employment and training opportunities to individuals with disabilities and others who have found trouble finding and keeping jobs. Goodwill has over 1,500 team members, 32 retail stores, and 40 donation sites across 48 Tennessee counties. Matthew is a graduate of the University of the South and earned a master's degree in mass communication from the University of South Carolina, married with 2 daughters. He enjoys music, golf, spending time with his family, and he is a graduate of Leadership Middle Tennessee and Leadership Nashville. Previously served on the board of directors for the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta's Nashville branch. Without further ado, Mr. Matthew.
Well, thank you. I don't know if I need to speak now with that. Jordan, that was a lot of what I was going to talk to you about. Well, thank you all for giving me this opportunity to share a little bit about who I am and what I do today. As Jordan shared with you, so I moved here in 1980. I'm also a graduate of USN before Swanee. And then after graduate school, I spent about 3 years in Charlotte working in the for-profit world and became very disillusioned with that time in my life and moved back here in 1995 with my Labrador, trying to figure out what life looks like going forward. And that's when I discovered nonprofit. And initially it was, I had become fluent in American Sign Language and I wanted to do that for my life. Unfortunately, the School for the Deaf is in Knoxville. And the School for the Blind here is in Nashville, so I missed that, and I'm like, I'm not going to Knoxville. So at the time, Bridges, which is what was the League for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, I was talking to them about what do you all do? What do nonprofits do? And I became very excited about the world of nonprofit. And as George shared with you, started in the Mental Health Association and joined the American Red Cross. Now I've been with Goodwill for 11 years. I am a Goodwill president. I've been here for about 11 years. My wife teaches at First Degrees. Both my girls went through BMS and BHS. And I started out my Rotary journey at the Green Hills Rotary. And then when I joined Goodwill, my board felt like I needed to be in downtown Rotary. And then the pandemic hit and everything turned upside down, and I've just not found my way back. So Rotary lives in my heart. I love the fact that there is Goodwill in there that you say every week. Next slide. So our roots. Edgar Helms was a Methodist minister, and he had dreams of being a missionary, going to India. Fortunately, around 1902, the Methodist Church did not have enough money to send him abroad, let alone his wife that he had just married. Instead, they sent Edgar Helms to Boston's South. And at that time, it was a really, really rough neighborhood, largely immigrant population. They were hungry, they were homeless, but more importantly, they had no jobs. And initially, Edgar Helms was trying to help them through the offering plates at Morgan Memorial. And he found that week after week, they just kept coming back. And he became dissatisfied, happy. He realized that what they really needed was work. And so I was trying to think before coming here, what is the one thing that I want to leave you all with? What is the one thing that you all got out of this room remembering? And it's interesting how inspiration comes to you in very odd places. And I was working out at the Y this morning, and this guy in front of me had a shirt on, back it said, independence is everything. I thought, that's it. So that's what I want to begin with, independence is everything. I want to share with you how Goodwill is involved in that very thing. And so when we leave here, I'm hopeful you'll understand more about why independence is everything, especially for Goodwill. Now, in the early days of its history, Goodwill used slogans to try to explain what its mission is. And so in this case, a hand up, not a handout. They used not a charity, but a chance, not a coin in the hat, but a tool in the hand. But all really trying to get at what exactly is that Goodwill does. So next slide. So for us, go back, sorry. So what Edgar Helms decided to do, rather than the handout of the offering plate, and nobody at the time was actually hiring these individuals who had skills. They could sew clothes, they could fix shoes, they could fix things with their hands. And he decided that he would go to Boston's more affluent areas. He would ask those individuals things that they no longer needed, wanted, or used, that they were broken or could be fixed. And would throw that back, and eventually, well, wheelbarrows, and eventually cars when they came online, but he would bring all that stuff back. And in that church, he would actually hire people to fix the shoes, to sew the clothes, to fix the furniture. And he in turn sold those items. And through the sale of those donated items, he hired more people to go door to door in Boston's more affluent areas, and then turned around and hired more individuals to fix, sew, and repair. And that's the enterprise that he created to give people independence, not dependence on any handouts. And so for us, we officially became incorporated in 1957. Now, it's interesting because just recently I started reading through some old historical Goodwill books. And what I found surprised and delighted me because we have a staff member who was a journalist in Columbia. So he started digging into some old articles, Tennessee and the National Bank. And it turns out that the National Plant, first Southern city for Goodwill back in 1922. He found this article in the National Banner. The title was, "The National Goodwill Industries has practically completed moving to the new location at 220 First Avenue North, where headquarters will be located. Upon the first floor is located the sales room, with counters and racks displaying every type of article that has ever gone into a home, from sheet music to shoes, and from Shakespeare and the Bible to stoves, rugs, and winter clothing." 1922. And then there are articles that continued through 1932 up to 39, and then something happened between then and 1957. I'm not sure. But this Goodwill has been in this community for over 100 years. For us, we cover 48 of the 95 counties in Tennessee. We'll go as far west as Obion County and as far east as Cumberland County. What has changed in those 100 years? The only thing that's changed in those 100 years is we don't hire people to fix, sew, or repair. So today, when you make those donations, anything that is not retail store quality will go into our salary for recycling. And that's the only thing that has changed. Next slide. So today, this is just a little sampling of what our Goodwill provides. Is employability skills, digital literacy, financial literacy, solar installer training, office productivity, call center training, custodial training, construction training, forklift training, Google IT. These are all programs free of charge, giving people the opportunity, either through our career coaches in employability skills, to find a job. Most of the folks that we serve are folks that have a disability or they have a barrier to employment. They're formerly incarcerated, there are veterans, there are seniors that want to get back into the workforce, or youth that dropped out of high school. So many of the folks that come to our Goodwill are just simply looking to get off the sidelines, get back into the workforce. But it's been a long time, the resume needs to be updated, we want to lock it a few with them. But there are a lot of other individuals who need additional skills. They're looking for jobs that will provide them with a higher compensation. So they're coming back into our programs, either within solar training or construction. These are 4-week programs and free of charge, where they'll learn construction training. They'll learn the basics of drywall, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, welding. Every one of our students will get a stipend, so it pays for their lunches and transportation in there. Or in talking with our career coaches, they may discover that they have an aptitude for IT. Through the Google IT program, they can actually get involved in programs that will help them get some idea of maybe that is something they love to do. It could be a career. We've had many of our students that go through the Google IT program and they go on to companies like Accenture in their IT department. So it's either helping them find a job or upskilling them to a better job or feet on pathway towards a career. Excellent. So this is just, I know maybe it's a little bit hard to see, but in talking about what happens with those donations. So I shared with you on the back end, but when you make that donation, again, whatever's not retail store quality will go into our salvage or recycling here. But whatever then goes on to our floor and is sold in our stores, after it is sold in our stores by the piece, we have 2 outlets. Whatever doesn't sell in the store by the piece will go to our outlets where it can be sold by the pound. So it's a second opportunity to benefit those clients. And then whatever doesn't sell in the outlets will go to recycling and salvage. And from the sale of those donated goods, we provide the education and job training. Every one of those donations is helping to support all of those training and education programs that are putting people to work. So everybody that is making a donation to Goodwill is a job creator. Okay? Excellent. So this is just a high level where we are. We have 13 career centers, 1 mobile career center. Again, we're largely rural. If you think about 48 counties, that is one of, I think, probably we'll add to Fort Morris. We'll have 5 mobile career centers where we'll go into more rural counties, work with James Conner, Rotary clubs, where people will come on the bus and they can work with our career coaches or life coaches and trying to understand what it is that they want, need, or have an aptitude for. 48 counties, we have 1,400 employees. Now, we're both a provider of education and training services. We also are an employer of folks with disabilities and barriers to employment. So currently we have 1,400 employees. 85% of those employees are mission related. We are currently about 6,200 people that have come through our career centers seeking a job, a better job, or a career. And there's about 16,000 of those employment training or education activities that we provide to those individuals. Again, free of charge. Next slide. So, best way I can share this, you see it first.
When they told me I had 17 years, I was just like, oh, no, look what I've done to my family. And while normal functioning human beings are out building their career or their life and saving money and living and going places and stuff, I wasn't, and I'm trying to get back. That's what I want.
Clients that come into our center suffer from frustration in the job industry because there are many employers that will not accept individuals who have a criminal background.
It's a little hard to find a job when you're in Dublin or whatever, a lot of roadblocks and a lot of roads.
And here at Goodwill, we have a skills trade program that allows individuals to gain a trade and to be able to find gainful employment.
So our core construction training is a 4-week program. What we focus on here is just introducing folks and getting them started in the basics of the trade.
I like stuff like that. I know that's weird for, a girl, but I'm the best with the measuring tape. I beat all of them. Oh, yeah, I want to probably. We're competitive, we would have contests.
Once they graduate from the core, we're gonna be offering more and more. Right now, we have the welding film application. You're not gonna come to this class and be a expert welder when you get out, but they will be competent.
I enjoyed, starting with a raw material and then like turning it into something totally different.
She picked up on it quick. She realized real quick, this is something I really enjoy. And she got into it. She loved making all the guys look bad.
They get pictures of the stuff I done. I did the coolest log thing. We did like a little dice thing. Mine was shaped properly.
And they can go from there either to TCAT and pick up an actual certification in welding, or they can go to a job somewhere. We've got several employers looking to hire that will actually train them on the job.
Jessica's case, she was able to find local employment here in Nashville with Kavanaugh.
I think one of the biggest opportunities and assets that Goodwill is they prepared her to go back into the workforce and maybe instill that attitude of I'm going to be successful and not take anything for granted and what I'm going to be offered or the opportunities that I have before me.
I mean, I'm excited. I hadn't had like a real job in a long time. I'd had a few friends that had worked here and they really liked it.
The door is wide open as long as she continues to drive with the attitude that she brought in over the past almost 5 months. And she's been a very good team member and a valuable asset to Kevin.
I feel relieved that I'm, following through with stuff and sticking to it.
Jessica had as many things against her. I mean, no car, no way to get around, no driver license, just nothing. I mean, we're here to help. We look for ways to help. But she wanted to make this happen on her own. And when you see somebody do that, you know they're doing it.
Goodwill did help me change. And I'm enjoying it,
So independence is everything. Jessica is a great example of exactly what we do, how we do it, more importantly, why we do it. So question may be then, next slide. Where are we going? Where's our future? Currently, we've got 4 of our training programs in different locations. And we knew at some point we wanted to bring everything together on one campus, what we call the Opportunity Campus. That we could bring together our skilled trade programs. 60 slides. So this is a 16-acre campus in Metro Center. 2 existing buildings that have somewhere north of 100,000 square feet. So we're going to bring all of our career technical skills training programs, like the construction training, solar training, will be in this building. Our career solutions, which will house all of our career counselors, our wraparound services. It will also provide space for additional nonprofit organizations that align with our vision. So affordable housing or childcare. We'll have a support services center up here, so that's our HR market. The exciting thing here is down below at the Excel Center is we're going to bring adult high school here in the middle Tennessee area. There are 500,000 adults in Tennessee who do not have a high school anymore. The Excel Center is a free in-person high school for adults. It will also offer free childcare on site and free transportation. And then we've got probably 13,000 square feet. So we're going to take that 62, we'll probably end up about 8,000 folks that we would serve. So with this opportunity campus, we're just going to blow that up. We're going to supercharge it. We're shooting for somewhere around 20,000 individuals that we'll put through our education training programs through the Excel Center or through our construction or skilled trade programs, or those who are walking on the street looking for a job. Wonderful thing about this campus is it also sits on the Wego bus line, so transportation is going to be right there at their feet. And it is just in an area where we believe majority of our clients live in their services. So 37208, which is where we currently are, it's about one zip code over 37208. If you don't know that, has the largest number of formerly incarcerated individuals in the country. So it is in a fantastic location for us in terms of really helping folks who need our services. There may be another slide that's creating the same. Yeah, so they just list there what I just shared with you. We're probably about 2 or 3 years. There are currently 5 tenants that are in this building. They have leases out to 2027. So I don't like to be a landlord, but we'll move through in transition. We just hired Gresham Smith to be our architect. And we're going to try to build these 2 buildings into a real campus that is connected and has a lot of great green spaces, and it looks very different than what it looks like today. Right across from the Titans training facility, if you're wondering where that is in the Metro Center. We've got Second Harvest Food Bank that is right down the street. United Way is out at Metro Center. So we feel like we're a good company out there, and we're super excited about that future. So I will stop, pause. I think there's another slide, Steve. Well, yeah, so that's a picture of the Excel Center. The Excel Center started in Indianapolis. At the time the mayor came to Goodwill and said, you've got a lot of individuals, adults that don't have a high school diploma. You all have experience working with adults. Let's see if we can find an opportunity to come together. They started the Excel Center in Indianapolis. There are now 18 Excel Centers across the state of Indiana, and probably 40 in 11 states. The closest one to us right now is in Memphis. There is an Excel Center in Memphis, and we're looking to bring that into the Memphis area. My expectation would be that in the next 10 years, we'll probably have 10 Excel Centers across our 48 counties. So excited about that opportunity to bring that as part of the equation for us. So it's not just training individuals, it's taking them from what is foundational education. In the Excel Center classes, they can also take college credits. They will also work with our line coaches, and they'll also have access to our skill training. So it's not just getting their high school diploma, but they can actually walk out with certifications in a lot of the classes that we teach. And in the Excel Center, about 36% of those individuals that graduate from the Excel Center go on to a 2-year college. And those that go on to a 2-year college, 76% stick. So we're excited about the Excel Center. We're excited about all the training classes that really are just a pipeline into either the TCAS or 2-year or 4-year college, really giving people an opportunity to be independent, not dependent on independence. So that's just the essence of Goodwill. We are a local nonprofit, local board, a local CEO. We're a federated model, so there are 153 Goodwills in North America and Europe. They're all local, they're all independent, they all have a local board, and they cover a certain service area. And ours is the 48 counties. So very local, been here for over 100 years, plan to be here for the next 100 years in this opportunity campus. So thank you all very much for giving me a chance just to tell you a little bit about who we are and what we do, but more importantly, why, which is just changing lives. So questions, thoughts?
Is there any national oversight whatsoever since it's the same name?
So any national overhead. So Edgar Helms actually, we created our, it's an international office because we're in 12 cities in Europe for the purpose of protecting the brand, the logo. So what we found over those years is that a lot of Goodwills were using the logo in various colors, tie-dyed, and the brand was being misused, the brand was being used by the people. And so we felt like if we're going to gain traction as a nonprofit organization like the American Red Cross, you got to have brand consistency. You got to have somebody that's protected. So we created the international office largely to do that, the overseers of the brand Goodwill. So We're basically franchised, so I have the ability to use the Goodwill logo in these 48 counties. They protect that brand. Over years, they have evolved into facilitating conferences and get-togethers with the other CEOs. So basically, there are 153 local CEOs that come together to figure out how to run this organization. Challenging, but because when we think about, there is competition. For-profit companies out there that do something similar to what Goodwill does. There are for-profit recyclers that just pick up donations and not do anything with it, but just sell them to the salvage market for money. And so, we are at a bit of a disadvantage when you think about these companies that are vertically integrated. We've got 152 CEOs trying to figure out how we work together. We're very different in terms of service delivery. So wherever you are in Goodwill, you can deliver whatever services you think your community needs. There are Goodwills that run domestic shelters. There are Goodwills that build baseball fields for underprivileged kids. In our service area, it's largely around workforce development for us. Yes, sir. I'm pretty sure you're. But how does that impact? The globalization. So the interesting thing about Goodwill is there is very little opportunity to automate anything that we do. And the government deems Goodwill as an employer, so we can't even use volunteers in positions that we should pay for someone to do the work. So we heavily rely on labor, on individuals to collect, process, and sell those donations. As much as we've tried to think about AI and how that would even help Goodwill, it doesn't. And I think that's a good thing. We're in the business of putting people to work. I'd rather have more people than fewer. So we haven't seen any movement away from that, other than it's just challenging in the retail sector. Right? When I started in 2013, we were paying $8.75. Today we're at $14 an hour. So we're trying to race towards $15 an hour. So and understand that we want to be the best first job. I don't think you can retire unless you love the company. So if we can train them and upskill them so they can go on to a better and higher paying job, we're all about it. But we haven't seen the numbers leave our organization for us in Goodwill. Like I said, I think that's a great thing. Yes, sir.
See opportunities to donate and make a monetary gift. I'm curious to what extent your own industries help sustain the larger.
So ask me that question a different way.
Well, you have businesses that buy stuff at Goodwill. To what extent do those businesses sustain the overall operation?
100%. So everything so there are a lot of comment cards that I get. People will say, "Oh, your prices are too high. You get stuff for free." And what I would love to share with them is yes, but I employ 1,400 individuals, largely folks with disabilities, barriers to employment, and I'm providing work skills free of charge. There'll be close to 10,000 individuals. That is all due to the donations. And so everything that is donated either goes into our stores or goes into that salvage or recycling. And we have individuals who, when we give tours of our plant out of Copper Bend, they'll see several gaylords full of single shoes, and they would ask, "That seems ridiculous. Why would I donate one single shoe?" And our answer is because Nike and Adidas in size 8 is a pair of shoes. Right? So everything that is donated, we try to maximize the value of their donation. Can't sell in our stores, we can't recycle, we can't sell. We have a gentleman that buys all of our stuffed animals and sells it back into the carnivals. So I just think it's amazing, circularity in all that we do with Goodwill. Yes, sir.
What are the more interesting things you get donated that are of interest? You know, or like, we have this Goodwill pile, and I'm like, they don't want, you know, like.
Yeah.
Tell us the more interesting things we should know to donate, or we should not bother to donate.
So I think, I am always surprised by what people donate. But more interestingly is knowing what they don't know they donate. So as I shared with you, we have outlets, which is whatever doesn't sell in the store. And most of those items will stay in that store for 4 weeks. And then if it doesn't sell, we go to the outlets where we dump all of the store returns on these big blue tables, roll them into a big area, and then people just dig through those blue tables. Right? And then they'll put them in a grocery cart and they'll weigh it by the pound, right? So $1.59 a pound, whatever it's in there. There was a couple that had a consignment store in Knoxville. They were going east, and they stopped at a Goodwill in Nashville in the outlet. So everything in the outlet's already had been in the store, and people had an opportunity. He pulls out this West Point sweater that he liked. It was pretty threadbare and needed to be worked on, but his wife sews. So he threw it into the cart with everything else. And then about 2 weeks later, he was watching an ESPN 30 for 30. There was Vince Lombardi wearing this West Point sweater. And he thought, he yelled up to his wife, and she brings it down, and they look in, and sure enough, stitched in the back of there is Vince Lombardi. So he sends it to, he finds this company in Texas that validates, authenticates sports memorabilia. And he sent it down there, they authenticated it, and he sold it online for $26,000. So the question is, I'm not sure anybody, whoever donated that, oh my gosh, right? I mean, I'm sure. So I'm surprised at what people do donate. They just don't know the value. Sometimes it's just luck. That people buy things and then find out it's worth a lot more. We do have a lot of folks that come into Goodwill, and they do know what they're looking for. And they will find those items that are brand names, and that's okay with us. We're not in the business we're in the business to get enough that we provide employment training opportunities. Somebody else wants to go through and spend time, and they do, go in our stores, they can find something like that. Yes, sir.
You mentioned online.
Yes.
Obviously, it's another vehicle to get retail sales. What are the percentages that you're seeing of items received by donation that are ending up being sold through your online product?
And I appreciate you sharing that. So, the online presence, it's been about 15 years, was another opportunity for us to try to maximize the value of our donations, because there are things that we do upfront scene that are of value. So the average value of an item that sells online is about $50. And it can go up because it's an auction site. So if you're looking for musical instruments or jewelry or whatever it is, you can go on shopgoodwill.com. And then it's an auction, and you find things you just bid on. So sometimes it can go a lot higher than that. But I would say, so it's probably 3% of our overall revenue. So it's still very, very small. Can we grow it? It's possible. It's labor intensive. You've got to have store managers that know what they're looking for, curate whatever donations, and then you're transporting those donations to another site, and then you are listing them online. So you've got people listing it, taking pictures. And so it's very labor intensive. So I understand the purpose to maximize the value. So more money means we can provide more employment training opportunities. So I'm in it still. The future is to be determined, I think. But it's a lot of fun. Never been online. But thank you for that. Yes.
1,400 people.
Yes, so I said 85% of those 1,400 either have a disability or they have a self-declared disability or barrier to employment. In terms of the numbers that they break down, formerly incarcerated, I don't have that. But it is, you know, the stories that I hear a lot. So we just had I'll keep track of the time. We just did for the first time in 11 years that we've been here, our team member appreciation breakfast. But 1,400 employees, we did in 3 locations, one at Murfreesboro and Humboldt. And the largest one was in Murfreesboro. And as you would understand, there's a lot of people that I don't know I've met. And afterwards, as I was walking out, this lady comes up to me and she introduces herself. And she tells me, you know, she says, thank you for giving me a job. I'm formerly unemployed and nobody would hire me and Goodwill did. And I thought that was the extent to which she was, and just wanted to introduce herself. And so I said, well, I'm happy to join the team and I appreciate everything that you do. And as I started walking with, but I had to take public transportation everywhere that I go because I couldn't afford my car. Now that I have a job, I've been with you for 20 years. I bought myself a new truck. I said, that's fantastic. That's probably good. That's exactly why. That's what Goodwill is all about. Then she said, and I've made every payment every month. I've never missed a payment. She said it with such pride in her voice. And I said, again, congratulations. That's a great achievement. And then she looked at me and she asked, do you know what color my truck is? And I said, no, what color is your truck? And she said, it's blue, a Goodwill blue. So I don't even know why I told you that story, but so I'll leave you with that. I appreciate it very much. And everything that you all do to support Goodwill, through your donations, it makes a difference. It changes lives through education, training, and support. So thank you all very much.
Matthew, on behalf of Rotary, we'd like to give you a gift and come and speak to us. And if you don't mind, we have a book that we read to elementary school. And if you can sign it for us.
Absolutely. I thought you were going to give it to me so my wife can read it to her kids.
For all the guests, we'd like to thank you, Buddy, Rob, Scott, Tucker, Joe. Thank you very much for coming. We really appreciate it. Please come back anytime. And let me see, any other announcements? No. Don't forget, stack the chairs. 8. Help clean up. Outside of that, anything else to do to Rotary? We are adjourned.